All right, poso Moniwick. The next part of the moccasin making is if you want to do some beadwork on your top part of your moccasin. You should have an outline or a pattern already with this. I think they call this the vamp. And then you're gonna cut that piece out of leather, okay? And then the last part of it is I want you to cut a piece of fabric. Now, you can use anything for fabric. You can use an old t-shirt. You can use, an old dish rag or whatever. But what you want to do is make sure that when you draw your outline and you cut it out, that you're going to cut at least maybe a finger's width outside of this. So you're going to make it a little bit bigger than your pattern. All right. So I'm going to draw that out real quick. And it doesn't have to be perfect or precise. Just an approximation. All right. There's that. Take that aside. And then I'm going to cut it out real quick. Case-kaha. Case-kaha. Cut it. Looks like I'm going to have to sharpen these scissors. So yeah, you know, when we have these kinds of projects where they require like a piece of fabric or something like that, this is something that you're never really gonna see unless you turn the moccasin inside out. So pretty much anything will work for you. All right, so now we have kind of a bigger piece. What I want to do is make just a little slit in here to cut that open just a little bit, okay? And then we're gonna sandwich this in. We're gonna put this on top of the fabric, this piece of paper, and then we're gonna put the leather on top of that. So you should have 3 pieces. And I want to center these. You also want to be sure of the leather that you're using. You want to decide on which side is going to be up, which side is going to be showing, and which side is going to be down. With this leather, it's kind of the same on both sides. With the leather that I send you, it could be smooth on one side and rough on the other. So it's up to you to decide which one you want to use. So I'm going to line that up on there. And then...
Ms. Kim to the Welcome Center, please. Ms. Kim to the Welcome Center.
What you want to do is hold this down, lift up your leather, and you want to fold over your fabric on here. All right. And lay your leather back down. Okay. And you're going to take your needle and thread. You should probably, single or double thread will work. This is just going to be just to tack it down to hold it while you do your beading. So I like to start right here at the center. I'm going to push through and pull it all the way to my knot. And then I want to make sure that this is lined up along the edge. Make sure your fabric is folded in between. All right. And then you're gonna make kind of a large stitch. So you're gonna move over maybe about 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and push through to the back, holding it the whole time. Now, it might get a little bit frustrating because I know it's not easy to hold this all together, but you get a couple of stitches in and you'll be all good to go. So you want to do the same thing on the back side. You're going to move over maybe 3/4 of an inch and go straight through like that. And you're going to do that all the way around. And I'm going to just go ahead and do that. I'm just going to go ahead and sew it all the way up, just so you can see it. And you can fast forward or pause and rewind or whatever, whenever you want. But I might as well just go through the whole process so you can see it from beginning to the end. So I'm just going from the front to the back, front to the back. And I'm not pulling it super tight. I'm just snugging it up. I'm going up to the corner. And snug it, make sure I got both my strings attached. And then you want to kind of make sure this is lined up. So you have some fabric on the outside, and you're just going to keep going right along the edge. And like I said, this is just a tack down. It's just to hold your leather and your fabric together while you do your beadwork. It doesn't have to be perfect. Because you're going to cut it all out anyway. So this is a good practice for you guys to get your stitching right, get your alignments right. Now, as I'm working on this part, you can also start thinking about your design for your beadwork, what colors you're going to use, what's going to fit. Is it going to make sense on your vamp here, as far as like placement, how much of the space you're using? All of those things you need to take into consideration. You also need to think about, when you're doing your sewing of the moccasin, that you don't want to take your beadwork all the way up to the edge. You want to leave a little bit of room so that you can do the sewing. Now, the sewing part doesn't take a whole lot of space. You just want to be sure that you have enough space left. All right, I got up to the corner here. I'm just going to come right around. And keep going. Don't rush this. Remember, we always want to think good thoughts when we're beading too. That goes for sewing, that goes for anything we do. Cooking. You always got to have that good thought, that good mind while you're doing it. And you can see I'm not doing measuring or anything. I'm just kind of eyeing it up as I go along. Just a little bit further right along the path that you're going along the edge of your vamp. So as you get closer up to this corner, you're going to want to do another fold. I'm going to stop here. And I'm going to lift up the leather, just like we did when we started, and fold the fabric in. And I like to give it a little bit of a crease so it stays. All right. So when I get to this corner, I want to make sure that that when I come up, I go through both layers of fabric, as well as the leather and the paper. So I'm going to come through all those layers in the corner there. Snug it up, and then keep going all the way back to the center again. Ooh. Yeah, if you pull it too tight, your leather will pinch up like that. Just spread it back out and snug it up again. All right. Maybe 1 or 2 more stitches here. All right. I think I'm just going to do the 1. Okay, so now you can take your musokan and keskaha kakapesa, and then just take your 2 ends and make a knot. All right, there you go. So now this one is all set, ready to go to get beaded on. So you can draw your design on in pencil if you want. I wouldn't do Sharpie or anything like that because you're gonna end up seeing those lines. So maybe in pencil, but use what you've got. If you end up having just a pen, use a pen, and then but just make sure when you're doing your beadwork that you cover your lines up. Now, okay. I will leave you with that, and I will make another video on putting them together once they're beaded up. So let me know when you guys are done. If you're choosing to do moccasins for your project, let me know when you need your beads and leather, and I will send some stuff home for you. And if I have sent things home for you and you need anything else, please let me know. I'm going to be here on Mondays. I'll be here at 10 o'clock on Mondays, and I'll stay until I get everybody's stuff packed up and sent out. So, nahau, poso, mahno pamatasanan yope.